Hey there folks, and welcome back to Star Citizen. Today we're going to take a look at the Gladiator bomber. It's a carrier-based naval fighter designed by the UEE to take out larger ships, and the main armament on board, or the main reason that you would want one of these things, is that it has a massive torpedo that's meant for destroying capital ships. We're also going to take a look at the stats page. We're going to talk about the inspiration behind this ship, and at the very end of the episode there's going to be a little bit something special. You can probably see in the title what it is, but yep. So the Gladiator bomber was actually the very first ship that I pledged for that had LTI, but then the Caterpillar came along and I traded it in for the Caterpillar. But it's an awesome looking ship, and I really do like the idea of it. The inspiration behind the design of this ship is it harkens back to the World War II dive bombers and naval bombers, in particular the Avenger bomber, which was a naval fighter, a single-engine naval fighter designed by the United States. It had an internal bomb load, as well as 250 caliber machine guns mounted in the wings, and it also had a rear gunner ball turret, just like this thing has. And that, as you can see, you could see the inspiration behind it, because this thing also has an interior bomb load, and it's meant for taking out ships, just like the Avenger was, and it has a ball turret on it. Also, the Dauntless SDB dive bomber is another source of inspiration. It has the rearward-facing turret, as well as room for bombs for taking out larger ships. And also, yes, it's that time of year again, so they put wreaths in our hangar. So, that's kind of cool. And I suppose you could also say that perhaps the German JU Stuka dive bomber is possibly a source of inspiration as well. But let's take a look at the actual stats of this ship. The length of this ship is 22 meters, and the width of the ship is 22 meters, so it's fairly square. And it is probably just around the same size as your Hornet would be. However, it is a little bit taller at 8 meters, and the reason it's taller is because it has this little extra internal bomb load where we will keep a class, or not a class 5, but a size 5 weapon. I'm not entirely sure what you'd put in there because we don't know yet, because they haven't released any size 5 weapons for us to peruse yet, but it will be capable of damaging or taking out very large ships, which you really can't do with any of the ships that are in the game right now. I mean, you can kind of pester them and whatnot, but you're never actually going to be able to successfully or quickly take out a large ship like a Retaliator or Constellation right away. But with this thing, one of those size 5 weapons should do the trick pretty quick. Also, the Gladiator bomber is quite a bit heavier at 26,000 kilos, so I think that's an additional 3,000 or 4,000 kilos over the Hornet. So it's not going to be as maneuverable, but you can't really expect it to be because it's a bomber, or a small torpedo bomber, not a fighter like the Hornet is. And because it's not a fighter, it doesn't have as many Class 1 or 2 weapons. In fact, it doesn't have any Class 1 weapons, which is fine, but it does have 2 Class 2 slightly gimbaled weapons right here. And you can fit, I believe, up to size 2 weapons on here, so that's what's on there right now. So size 2, Class 2 weapons, so they slightly gimbal, and they're a little bit bigger than your Class 1 weapons and size 1 weapons. Also, you have 4 mounts for Class 3 weapons that are external. You have a 5th internal Class 3 mount for a size 5 massive torpedo, which we already talked about, so I'm not going to dwell on that fact. So this thing is going to have plenty of heavy armaments. So if you're planning on using this, you might want to have a couple of escorts with you to distract people and do the dogfighting for you. But if you want to take out a capital ship, this is certainly the ship to do it with. Also, this thing has 8 TR2 maneuvering thrusters, the same type of thrusters that are going to be on the Hornet. However, one thing that this ship does have over the Hornet is it has 2 Class TR4 engines, whereas the Hornet only has 1 TR4 engine. However, I'm guessing these stock engines are a little bit underpowered, and they're not going to be as powerful as the Class 4 engine that you find on your Hornet stock. But still, the potential is there. Also, there are 2 engines because there are 2... Well, I suppose there's 2 motors and there's 2 engines. So there's that as well. The shield is a little bit different than you will find. It's probably, I would say, adequate for what you're going to be using it for. Let's see if we can get in here. And this is how you get into the ship. The seats actually drop down, which we will see. And there they go. This is far less glitchy than the last patch, and I'm really loving it. Okay, so let's go in. As you see, you have your gunner seat back there, and your piloting seat. And the gunner can do more than just gun. He can do target acquisition, as well as other things. Oh dear, that is very loud. And here we are inside the piloting station. I'm really hoping that this ship launches when they have when they first introduce the very first multi-crew ships, because it would be very fun to fly with a gunner in the back. Oh, and if I haven't mentioned, yes, the turret on top is a Class 5 turret that can fit 2 Class 1 weapons on top. So, and that's controlled by the gunner in the back, which we'll take a look at. The cockpit's nice, hands kind of glitching through the stick, but as far as bugs go, This update doesn't have as many as the past couple updates, so I'll let it slide. The canopy actually is kind of intrusive into the frontward visibility. Side visibility is fantastic, though, and upward-facing visibility is certainly decent. And the downward-facing visibility is almost non-existent, but when you have a spotter in the back that can also act as your gunner, they might be able to help you navigate a little bit more, so that shouldn't be as much of an issue if this was only going to be a solo flying ship. But I'm sure some people will be flying this completely solo anyways. But there's that. And we're going to go take a look at the gunner's seat. And there we go. This is a very nice looking ship. I really like the idea behind this. I also like the idea that that RSI is using historical ships or aircraft as references and inspiration for their designs. Like the Retaliator bomber is actually inspired by the B-17s and the Lancaster bombers of World War II, so that's kind of cool. And the interiors are kind of reminiscent of nuclear submarines, which is also kind of cool. I like their design style behind it. However, we haven't actually had a full look at the Retaliator. Maybe sometime in the future, but not now. Right now, you can't move the turret, and this is what you get. Right now, this is going to be fantastic visibility. There's almost nothing in the way of your visibility, so targeting ships and using your electronic countermeasures and whatnot will be very easy for the gunner to do. So that will take a little bit of stress off the pilot, so he can focus on flying his mission and destroying the capital ship, while the gunner can go to town distracting the pesky fighters that are flying around. There is a little bit of side facing visibility that's an issue, but judging by the fact that this turret can turn, we don't know how fast it can turn yet, but that shouldn't be as much of an issue as it is when it's just stuck in place. And as you can see, there's gun 1, gun 2, labeled very nicely for you. And it even has a little heads-up display for the gunner too. Well, not heads-up display, but a console for the gunner to use, which I'm sure will be implemented whenever this ship is implemented into the dogfighting. Hey, would you look at that? It does rotate, and it rotates fairly quick at that, so it's going to be pretty awesome. I wonder if eventually you're actually going to be able to take a look inside the bombing bay. If you saw, there is a ladder here that goes to what I can only assume is the bomb bay, so you can take a look at your ordnance. And if you don't want to carry a big missile in there, I'm guessing they're going to give you other options. Right now in the stats page, it doesn't say that you're going to be able to carry anything as far as cargo is concerned, probably because a standard cargo pod won't fit in there, but you might be able to fit some electronic countermeasures. And another thing that they did say about this ship is it does have good range as far as targeting goes, and your electronics suite, so you might be able to detect ships a little bit easier than your standard fighter would. So all in all, this is a very, very good supplement to a fighter squadron. If they want to add a little bit of heft and firepower to their fighter squadron, this is certainly the ship to do it with. Alright, and the other thing that we're going to do is, like last episode, well, not last episode, a couple episodes back, we gave away some free stuff. So we're going to give away some free stuff again because you guys seem to like it. So make sure, if you want the free stuff, just in the comment section below, make sure you leave a comment saying that you want it, and I'll do the same thing I did before, where I'll take all of your names of people that wanted this stuff. We'll put it in a random number generator. We'll pick a number, and then I will contact you, and you'll have to contact me back with your Star Citizen information so I can gift you the thing. And the thing that we will be gifting you this time is the Mustang Delta model, or at least it's supposed to be the Mustang Delta model. Right now, the Delta model doesn't look like it's actually in there, but I will be gifting you the package so that it should show up, or you'll get something like this eventually. So if you guys want the Mustang Delta model, it's not the actual ship itself, it's just the model, kind of like these things are here. Make sure to leave a comment, and we will be giving that to you probably next episode. And if you're watching this video, say like 2 months after I made it, chances are I already gave away the model, so there's no need to comment. But if you want, comment away. It's not the end of the world. Also, one last thing, you can finally get drunk. And apparently this guy's a lightweight, because after one shot he's already feeling it. Unless this is like super space alcohol, which makes you drunk really fast. Which is entirely possible. I don't know. Oh man, this guy's he's really feeling it now. Oh man, that motion blur. Okay, that's enough. That's starting to make me sick. Alright, so that is the, oh dear lord, that is the Gladiator bomber. Holy crap. That is the Gladiator bomber. So if you guys want a free Mustang Delta model, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. That will be it for this episode. Thank you folks for watching, and I will see you folks next time. Oh god, this is... he's got to stop drinking.